Assalamu alaikum and welcome back once again to Today in African History with Baba Shaka. I'm Baba Shaka, and today before we get started, I'd like to start off by encouraging those of you who have not yet subscribed to go ahead and hit that subscription button and become a member of the family, and give us some of your comments, some of your suggestions, and some of your criticisms, if you will. For those of you who have already subscribed, we thank you wholeheartedly, right? Now, today is February 18, 2021, and it was on this day, February 18, in the year 1688, that the first written protest against slavery in the New World was drafted in the home of Thomas Conder of Germantown, Pennsylvania, who hosted the early Germantown Quaker meetings. The petition was written by practicing Quakers to the local Quaker governing body in Dublin, Pennsylvania, and signed by four men: Derek Updengraff, Abraham Updengraff, Francis Daniel Pastorius, and Garrett Hendricks. Three of the four had long-standing Mennonite associations. The signers were disturbed that many of the Philadelphia Quakers chose to own slaves. Now, over the years, many of us, myself included, have been given the impression that Quakers did not own slaves or participate in the slave trade, but it appears that was not the case. Many of the Philadelphia Quakers did own slaves. In fact, at the time of the protest, 6 years after Philadelphia's founding, about half of British Quakers in the Philadelphia regions, including William Penn, for whom Pennsylvania is named, held slaves. Although they had come to the New World to escape persecution, they saw no contradiction in owning slaves. The settlers of Germantown, however, came from a country unaccustomed to slavery, and the German Quakers in the area refused to participate in the slave trade. Germantown produced the finest linen goods in the region and utilized no slave labor in the process. The monthly meeting recognized the weighty matter of the petition and proceeded with the usual manner of passing serious issues to the quarterly meeting. At the quarterly meeting in Philadelphia, the decision was again to send the petition to a higher governing body. The yearly meeting. The Burlington, New Jersey yearly meeting declined to act upon the issue due to the significant impact it would have on the colony. None of the meetings chose to formally accept the petition and make a judgment in the case. Quakers continued to hold slaves until 1776, when they formally banned slaveholding among their members. The 1688 petition utilized various arguments for equal human rights and the unjust nature of slaveholding. First and foremost, it appealed to the Golden Rule, which stated, "Is there any that would be done or handled in this manner?" Basically, would any of you like to be treated as a slave? The petition asked, "Liberty should be extended to all peoples, regardless of their color, and we should act in ways to all people as we would like done to ourselves." The Golden Rule. The petition reminded the British Quakers that they fled oppression based on their conscience, but are here causing oppression merely based upon the color of a person's skin. Engaging in slavery is participating in theft and forced adultery. Buying slaves is buying stolen people, and families are indiscriminately broken up to form new families. The petition asks Quakers who are pacifists how they would react if the slaves revolt or turn the tables. Would the Quakers then take up swords and fight? Or would they maintain their pacifist ways and allow themselves to be held as slaves? Further, the petition questions how Europeans in non-slave holding countries would feel about moving to a colony where people are treated like cattle. Over the years, the table upon which the 1688 petition was signed was used as a schoolmaster's table by Christopher Dock, an early Mennonite educator, and for nearly 200 years was used as the communion table for the Germantown Mennonite congregation. It is now preserved in the historic 1770 Germantown Mennonite Meeting House, standing as a testament to faith in action and the social consciousness religious faith can inspire. Now, this wasn't the only petition against slavery. Later on, in the year 1696, Another early Quaker protest against slavery was written by Cadwallader Morgan from Merriam, Pennsylvania. Morgan was a minister in the Society of Friends, and he was born in Merioneth in Wales and emigrated to Merriam, Pennsylvania. He married Jane Price and died in 1711, and he was buried in Marion. In this early document, Morgan expresses his concerns concerning purchasing a slave to free himself for other duties, such as going to meetings. His anxiety led him to conclude that it could bring more trouble than good. He said, "If I should have a bad one of them that must be corrected or would run away, or when I went from home and leave him with a woman or maid, and he should desire or seek to commit wickedness, if such a thing happened, that it would be more loss and trouble to me than any outward gain could countervail." In answer to his concerns regarding purchasing the slave, Morgan waits for the Lord to make it known to him how to proceed, and he concludes that he, quote, had no freedom to buy or take any of them upon any account. He reasons that worldly gain would not have a part in the enslaving of another human being. Morgan's protest was brought to Philadelphia's yearly meeting, and the meeting advised that friends be careful not to encourage the bringing of any more Negroes. Right? This, now, they didn't say slavery is wrong. They just said, hey, just don't bring any more of them here. Right? This did not prohibit the importation of slaves, but it discouraged friends from participating in the slave trade. This was the first instance that the Philadelphia yearly meeting addressed the slave trade and took an anti-slavery stance. Okay? So, did Quakers participate in the slavery? Yes, they did, up until 1776, when they formally banned or prohibited their members from doing so. Okay? So it was on this date, February 18, 1688, that the very first anti-slavery petition was drafted in the New World. Okay? Once again, I would like to give a special shout out to President Baba Mosi and the sisters and brothers of the Woodson Banneker Jackson Bay Division number 330 UNIA ACL Rehabilitating Committee. That's the Universal Negro Improvement Association, originally founded by the late great Marcus Messiah Garvey and the African League Conference. These are folks who are promoting or helping to promote and disseminate these daily lessons on their Facebook pages, because we all have the same goals, and that is to inspire or enlighten African people to their glorious history. Once again, I encourage those of you who have not yet subscribed to become subscribers, join the family, and like and share, make your comments. I expressly encourage you to share with the young amongst you, because as you and I both know, they don't teach this kind of stuff in school. So, until tomorrow, inshallah, this has been Today in African History with Baba Shaka. Masalam.